So I'm a professional motion designer who actually went to art school. And the thing about design classes is that you don't actually need to know how to draw, and you definitely don't need to know how to draw in order to pass design classes. I mean, technically, I don't know if you're familiar with how going to art school kind of goes. You have several, at least in my school, we had several stages of portfolios. And then at least the first one, you had to show you could draw still lives and traditional rendering and with traditional mediums pencil and graphite, charcoal, those type of things. So I guess I'm being a little dramatic when I say I can't draw at all. I can. I remember when we had nude figure drawing, and that was very interesting when it was my first semester, and all the boys are, of course, boys are being boys. So yeah, so I have some practice with drawing figures and drawing, rendering a still life and things to that effect. But this shit, I have no idea how people come up with this stuff. I can literally only draw what is in front of me, and that is it. Creativity, where I don't know how you can come up with these things and come up with use your mind's eye to create some new thing that nobody's ever seen before. Well, actually, I realized the secret to illustration, I think, is references, which is kind of true for everything in the professional art scene and in casuals too. I remember when I was a noob and I thought I had to just pull everything out of my brain, but that's extremely difficult, and it's possible. There are some talented artists out there that can do that. But most of the time, you just have a ton of references and you practice, and maybe someday you might be able to draw something from memory. But in general, when you're working on something like illustration, what I found during this experiment, you just need to look at a ton of stuff. I really love anime. I'm an anime nerd, except I'm not really. I'm more of a hipster anime nerd, I guess, because I only watch the popular stuff. If nobody's talked about it, I'm probably not going to watch it. It's got to be the big stuff. I'm talking Attack on Titan, Death Note. Those type of animes are the ones that have my heart, except for the freaking ending of Attack on Titan, but it's fine. I still love that show. Since I'm a designer who wanted to figure out this illustration stuff, I figured I could practice simplifying the world by drawing anime, since their proportions, kind of what makes something look anime. People are always talking about, is Avatar Last Airbender anime or not? Yeah, the reason people think that is because Avatar Last Airbender has realistic proportions. It doesn't look I don't know, take for example Adventure Time. Obviously more cartoony, very abstracted people, and it works for that story. But anime, the reason I want to do anime is because they're realistic proportions, and because I'm already seeing things so realistically, I figured it'd be a very good first step into my illustration journey. During my time trying to figure out how to do this, I ended up on this YouTube channel. I'm gonna leave the channel name here. I don't know how you would pronounce it, but he makes really, really good videos. And he was talking about a popular artist named Lamb, and I was very attracted to this guy's work because it's more graphic based, and as a graphic designer who has a very flat mind and doesn't want to draw beautiful realistic backgrounds, this is exactly the type of thing I was I'm attracted to. And he made a really, really great study of this guy's work. So this was particularly I was heavily inspired by Lamb's work, and this guy's study of Lamb's work was very, very useful for me because I didn't really know where to begin. And then another thing that I realized that I really like are these bright saturated colors. I like looking at them in the real world and my design work and stuff. I never get the chance to push color like that. So I thought it'd be really cool to make something that handles so many bright colors and saturated colors and really just go crazy and try to bend my mind a little bit about like with my painting and illustration and stuff, and not immediately think, okay, skin tone has to be like a brown color. Like the skin tone can be like pink or like a bright red or something, and it can still look pretty, like it can still be based on realism. So I had found this other YouTuber by the name of Bad John, or I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but yeah, I'll post that here and I'll leave the links in the description for all these amazing people. This person really helped me understand how you can even use so many bright colors that still read as realistic and don't look terrible. Like they helped me understand how you can use these colors and get away with it basically and not make it look like an eyesore, which is what I was like really scared of. And this person really very much helped me kind of figure out what type of color scheme I wanted to do when I went to go make this. Ultimately, I ended up drawing and tracing in some anime and just drawing some of my favorite anime characters, like from Chainsaw Man and things. And I just had some fun with this, like tracing and seeing, like drawing manga panels and like just really paying attention to how the artist creates their version of an anime look. So I'm not particularly copying like one style of a look. And yeah, I'm gonna play some of that here. Eventually I just got too bored, so I just kind of left with that, and I felt like I was ready to do this thing, so I hopped into Procreate. And I also used Magic Poser, which I had downloaded like years and years ago, probably at the beginning of all of this, like back like in uni days and everything. But I had downloaded it, but I've never used it for anything. But I'm realizing that my proportions and everything, like everything looks a lot better when you just get the posing app and like just trace over it. Literally your art will, like, this is probably the best like illustration figure I've ever done, and it's basically because I traced the tool. And I always say this, but I am a big proponent of tracing, because yes, listen, you don't need to, like, if you're not trying to be like this professional illustrator or whatever, like, does it really matter if you're tracing to just get the proportion down? Like, what I'm trying to say is, like, you can sit and learn it properly, and I do recommend you do, but at the same time, it's like, I guess I've gotten into this tracing habit because I am a graphic designer, and you do a lot of tracing, like, to create your own work, of course, and like using the pen tool and things like that. So I just applied that same logic to illustration. Like, yes, you can and probably should learn the proper way on like how the form works and like the proportions of the human figure and all that stuff. But girl, I just wanted to draw something fun, okay? I don't actually care right now. I just want to draw something super cool that looks kind of graphical, and to me it just didn't matter. So yes, use Magic Poser, trace Magic Poser, and tweak it to your liking like I did. This is how it ended up coming together. I am really happy with it. I've never made anything like this before. I think it turned out pretty well for what I was going for. I learned a whole lot. I feel like I can draw anime now, and that's pretty exciting. So if you enjoyed like learning this process and figuring this out with me, like definitely drop a like. That would help me out so much. And subscribe. And I'm thinking about posting more art stuff. I want to code a whole application and make pixel art for it. So if you want to see that, definitely stick around.